Welcome, folks. You can proceed whenever you're comfortable.
All right, sounds good. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and the committee. My name is Stephanie Johnson. I work as the Deputy Field Director for a Wisconsin-based healthcare workers organization, SEIU, Service Employee International Union, and I've been a home care worker myself for the past 4 years. I have lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for most of my life, but I've also lived in Appleton, Wisconsin for a couple of those years. Many, if not most of the people I speak with as an organizer are a lot like me. That means many are working men and women, many are Black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and white. But what unites us all is that we are from working families and we are too often overlooked by the government at the state level. We see some leaders trying to make progress, like when our federal government approved the $300 a month child tax credit and the stimulus payments to help people through the pandemic. Now they are engaged in a robust debate over how to address infrastructure and long-term care needs. Closer to home, we need more responsiveness. While we can see our governor doing his level best to squeeze every dollar he can into education and health care, and we see our legislator blocking him at every turn and ignoring public health advice to control the pandemic spread, it is as if our legislators don't listen to us because they simply don't think they need to listen. They are comfortable because they think they can draw lines to allow them to ignore Black, brown, and white working families, wherever we are in the state. I come here today to let the committee and anyone else watching know that you are on notice. No longer can you ignore the will of the people and think we won't care. Our field campaign has been running a social media spot on redistricting for a couple of weeks and has already collected over 1,062 petitions from every corner of our state. We have heard from folks like Martin in Middleton, Sandra in Waterford, Cheryl in Chippewa Falls, and Cynthia in Milwaukee. We all agree that no matter our race, income, or zip code, we deserve to have fair representation. And the only way we can ensure that that happens is to draw fair redistricting maps. As I said before, we are from all races and all genders expressions. We are from all parts of the state, from the banks of the Mississippi to the shores of Lake Superior, and even down to the toll plazas by the Illinois border. We're sick and tired of the gerrymandering the maps to rig our elections. The people should pick their leaders, not the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My name is thank you for having me. My name is Robert Haskins. I live in and I love Milwaukee and want badly to be proud to call Wisconsin my home since this is where I grew up. But let's just say that's extremely hard because gerrymandering is making that very much so harder. I'm going to get right into this. I like things in life to be fair, and to be fair, the definition of fair is without cheating or trying to achieve unjust advantage, and gerrymandering is not fair. Gerrymandering, Wisconsin GOP mandering, is a practice intended to establish an unfair political advantage for a particular party or group by manipulating the boundaries of electoral districts. And when I say a particular party or group, I think we all know in this state that I mean Republicans. As of right now, Republicans make up 21 out of 33 state Senate seats, 61 out of 99 state assembly seats, and represent 5 out of 8 state congressional districts. Yet their statewide vote totals are nowhere near that. They lost the popular vote in 2018 for legislature while dropping every statewide contest. While they carried the legislative popular vote last year, it's largely because Democrats wouldn't even run in many seats. And by the way, the Republicans also lost the statewide election for president fair and square. Let's put things into perspective with numbers. In 2012, Democrats got a majority of the state assembly vote with 53%, while only getting 39 out of 99 seats. Republicans took 47% of the vote, yet they took home a whopping 60 out of 99 state assembly seats. I sit and think to myself, how could this possibly be fair? In 2016, Dems got only 47% of the vote and got 35 seats, while Republicans got 53% of the vote and got 64 out of 99 state assembly seats. My question is, do they feel they don't have a chance on an even playing field? My other question is why? Why does the Wisconsin GOP feel the need to have this advantage? Do they feel they are outnumbered? We see what's going on and we are fed up. These Scott Walker-like tactics have to go just like he did. Every map presented from the GOP is a complete disadvantage for fairness. As we all know, analysts know, we know, and you know. With that being said, we are not asking for you all to do anything but give us a fair chance at democracy. Gerrymandering is, in fact, a threat to democracy. It's a clear-cut and literally drawn advantage that the people don't agree with. My team and I have entered maps that seem to be a lot fairer that we would like you all to take into consideration when making these maps and cutting districts. Please save our elections because we need fair maps now. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon. Excuse me, or is it evening by now? Seems like I've been here a mighty long time. But thank you all for allowing us this time to share our thoughts and views. I've been sitting in the room looking around, and I've recognized and realized, my name is Calena Roberts. I am the Wisconsin State Field Director for the Service Employees International Union. And I've looked around the room today, and I realized where I am in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, I realize where I am. And we don't like to speak our truths, but our truth is we know that we sit in the most segregated state in the United States. Just say it, put it out there, make sure that people, what I heard this morning earlier from one of our representatives sitting here, the insults, the rudeness, the toddler acting like little toddlers, and we're paying you. It's disrespectful, it's disgraceful, and always shooting down the other side. So I just wanted to get that out so that people know where I'm really coming from. That I already feel that we're at a disadvantage. We're sitting in a space where it's just not fair to begin with, and then we don't need anything added on. So for years, I have fought against various civil rights injustices, and today I stand before you doing the same. Many people say that Wisconsin's political geography favors Republicans, but voters like me say otherwise. Wisconsin has voted Democrat for 8 of 9 presidential elections back to 1988, and I have voted in all of them. That dates me, but that's fine. And it's voted Democrat in all the partisan statewide races in the 2018 and 2020 cycles. Yes, Republicans have had successes, but it's been even at most. The will of the people is tied or slightly leans to the Democratic side. There is absolutely no reason, none whatsoever, that maps must favor Republicans unless you are saying some voters deserve more of a say than others. When you say that Democrats in urban areas like Kenosha, Milwaukee, Madison, Racine, Beloit, or Green Bay should get less representation than voters in West Bend or Walworth County, what are you really saying? What's different about most voters in Milwaukee versus voters in West Bend? I'm just saying. The answer is obvious. You are simply saying that black and brown voters should have less of a say than white voters. You can dress it up all you want. You can blame it on geography. You can pretend that it's about the concern of having super majority, minority districts in Milwaukee. But believe me, when the people can see right through that, we see it in voter suppression and we see it in gerrymandering. You don't want me to vote, and if I do vote, you don't want me to vote to count, my vote to count as much as yours. Shame on you. Yes. The game is up. Wisconsin's gerrymandering looks like a racist ploy, and regardless of its stated intent, it must end now. I want to thank you all again for allowing all of us, my team, all of us to come and speak before you. And before we go, I'd like to leave you with this. A democracy cannot thrive where power remains unchecked and justice is reserved for a select few. Ignoring these cries and failing to respond is simply not an option for peace. Cannot exist where justice is not served. Late Congressman John Lewis, I quote.
Remind the people in the audience that you are here for observation and not participation. So I'm going to ask you to keep your applause down and absolutely not allowed. And that's the first request I'm going to have. The second one won't be quite as nice. Any questions from the committee for the three panelists here? With that, thank you very much for taking time to come to the state capitol. We appreciate your input.
Thank you.
You can't question none of that.
Next up.